Welcome back to Posh Cats Camping. This morning we're doing our pre-journey checks, and just a few of them on the van, just as you would if you were towing a caravan and going in the car or on a long journey. We're going to check the main things that you would check on the vehicle before you leave. So let's take a look. The first thing I check always before we go on a journey are the wheels and the tyres, and there's 5 of them. Don't forget the spare. And I've checked online, and there's a lot of different answers to the same question. How much air should you put in a motorhome tyre? Now it really depends on the model and the weights and the size of the tyre, but after conversing with 1 or 2 people online, I've decided that it should be 60 all round, or 55 psi in the front and 60 in the rear, and that's the level I'm going for now. And the next check, we need to unpop the bonnet, unlock the bonnet, and the lever is just at the end of the dashboard behind the passenger side door. On a European vehicle, clearly that would be in the same position, but that would be the driver's side. And this is where we just need to use the 2 hands, so I'll come back to you in a second. Now under the bonnet there's just a couple of checks. The hydraulic fluids here, the windscreen wash here, and the dipstick, which is just tucked away here, which we would top up with oil here if we needed any additional oil. Okay, so I'm going to check those fluid levels, and also give under the bonnet here just a wipe round with a damp cloth, because it looks like the bonnet hasn't been popped for a few 100 miles. So it's recently serviced, so I shouldn't have any concerns really, but I always make sure that I've checked those fluids before we start a long journey. Now other checks I make along the way before we set off is all around the outside. I make sure that the lockers are all closed and won't flap open. I make sure that these doors are all secure. I check that the drain points are both tucked up out of the way, so we've got a wastewater drain point under this side and a freshwater drain pipe here. And then round the other side, also check that the wing mirrors are good and secure. And we've got wind mirror protectors on here. I make sure that they're not working loose. Around this side, the gas locker box, the fuel cover, and the grills for the fridge. Believe it or not, we have lost a winter cover off there before now, and all the other covers are all secure and doors are shut. And just at the back, I always check that the cycle rack is fully locked into the up position as well. Now the next job is to fill the freshwater tank, which is lockable, and I've got a long hose which I've tucked right through from the other side of the van to the outside tap. This is food quality hose pipe. It's not just a garden hose, it's meant for this purpose. I've got the tap turned on the other side, and I've got a valve here I can turn to switch the water on. And we're on a long journey, so I'm not going to fill this with 100 litres. I'm going to go for about a quarter full, so about 20 litres. That's sufficient to do any washing up, flush the toilet, and you know, it gets us by. It gets us through the first day. So I'm just going to leave that for a few minutes and fill it to about 20 litres. And final checks before we leave: make sure all the windows are shut, the roof lights are secure, the TV aerial is down, and the electric hookup is switched off. And looks like we're ready to go. Are we, kids? we've arrived at our first destination of our Scottish road trip, and we're nowhere near Scotland. We've made a little detour, and you may have noticed in my last video I said that there is plan B. Well, we've left a day early and we've come along to Wiltshire to an event that's happening tomorrow, and by the time you see this video we will already be there and we will have experienced the event, no doubt. And we've been invited along by Bailey of Bristol to have a look at the new Autograph motorhomes, the 2020 edition, and we're very excited about that. So we'll have a fresh video all about tomorrow in our next video slot. Not quite sure when that will be, because on Friday and Saturday we're going to be taking the long journey up to Scotland, and our first stop there will be Invercoe, which is the first stop in Glencoe. We'll take you along with us, of course. But let's take a little look at our stop off tonight. We're at the Freke Arms, which is in Wiltshire, and near the town of Swindon, and take a little look at the site and the pub as well. Freke Arms, and we're on table 20. We've ordered the food, haven't we, Joe? We've ordered the food, haven't we?
Yeah, we've ordered.
Joe, yeah, we're all having a little drink before our dinner. Got to have cider. Sue's got a wine. Uncle Joe's got a beer. And what you got then, Sue?
Veggie burger with cheesy chips.
Oh. And Auntie Sheila's got scampi. A light scampi.
I've got a full scampi.
You've got a scampi, have you, Joe? And I've got Hunter's chicken. Yummy.